I've been seeing a lot of videos lately where people are showing their vinyl collection. I don't have the most extensive Beatles vinyl collection, but I thought that I would show what I do have. So bear with me. Introducing the Beatles. This is with the Beatles. It's sealed and it was a limited edition. It came out, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago. It has the Apple logo there. This is a mono version of Meet the Beatles. This is a regular stereo version. This one was released in the 80s, so it's one of those purple label Capitol records. The quality is not great, but it is what it is. Beatles' second album. This actually is a promotional copy of this one. Hard Day's Night. This is another sealed limited edition version that I have. It was released back, I don't even know if there's a year on here, but like I say, it was about 10 years ago. Also mono. The mono version of the United Artists soundtrack album, Hard Day's Night. Of course, it has I Cry Instead of I'll Cry Instead. And I actually found out that the copies of this, original copies that have I'll Cry Instead, where it's properly spelled, are actually more rare, because there was a limited amount. They already released most of these apparently before they realized a mistake, and only a few copies actually had the correct spelling. This is the stereo United Artists Hard Day's Night. Kind of getting them out of order here. Oh, well, anyway. This is a Hard Day's Night. It was once Capitol took over the remaining catalog. This is a purple label, so the sound quality is not the best, but I have it just because it doesn't have the United Artists logo. It's an actual Capitol pressing of this. This is a promo copy of the Beatles Story. This is the stereo copy of Beatles for Sale. And you can find this in the stereo box set, which I have. I just happen to have an extra copy of this one. This is stereo Beatles 65. This is the black rainbow label. And then I have, this was released in the 80s, purple label, Capitol. The early Beatles. A stereo version of Beatles 6. And I believe this one is an orange label. This is another stereo version. It's a little cleaner copy of Beatles 6. And this one, I think, what label is this? This is the black Capitol label. I thought so, but I just needed to check anyway. And then this is a mono copy of Beatles 6, also the black label. This is a original British import of the Help album. This is the stereo. This is a mono copy of Help soundtrack. This is the stereo copy of Help. Rubber Soul. This is a stereo copy. It's funny because I'm not sure what the hell this is. I know it's sealed and it doesn't have Apple labels. I honestly, I don't remember how or when I got this, but I never opened it. It's still in the original sealed shrink wrap. And then this is the black label stereo version of American version of Rubber Soul. And then this is a more, I think it's from like the, is this a right? 70s or 80s Rubber Soul. It's got the, it's got to be 80s because it's a purple capital label. Yesterday and Today. This is an orange label. The American Capital Revolver. Sgt. Pepper, this is another purple label, so the sound quality is crap on here, but this was the first copy of Sgt. Pepper that I ever owned. I also have the most recent two vinyl double 2017 remaster. Magical Mystery Tour. The White Album. This one was also released about 10 years ago. It's got the Apple logo on the back. It's not 180 gram. It's just when they re-released these on vinyl about 10 years ago. That was from that. Yellow Submarine. Abbey Road. Got the original Harmony House price sticker. It's in the shrink wrap. And on these, the cover is actually, it's a closer shot, and the cover is more centered. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe it, but the original release and then the one that they just released on 180 gram vinyl, the shot's a little farther back, but it's not quite as square and as close up as this. This is actually the same for the CD. I think it was that way. And then when they remastered the CDs back in, was it 2009? They went back to the original cover. This is Let It Be, the Gatefold. And it's got the red apple there. And opens up into that gatefold. I'm not sure is this a red apple label? Yes, it is. The apple is red. So that's kind of odd. I don't know if that's rare or not, but this is a very nice copy of the American Let It Be. Hey Jude. the red album, the blue album, of course, Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl, Rock and Roll Music, Volume 1. This was originally a double album, and then they put it on a budget release. It's got a green capital label, and then they split it into two. This one's still in the original shrink. Volume 2 is not in the original shrink, but it's also the green capital label. The British Beatles Rarities. The American Rarities with the gatefold. Silver Beatles, which were the Decca Audition tapes. This is Volume 1. I ordered Volume 2 on eBay. It's one that comes on the black cover, and it was so warped. The album was so warped, you could almost eat cereal out of it. That's how bad it was, so I had to ship it back. I was very disappointed. This is actually the Star Club. It's an album that has the Star Club recordings on it. This is Early Years, Volume 2. It's an album called the Rare Beatles, which was on the Phoenix label. This is also the Star Club tapes on here. This is a bootleg called Dig It. It's got an 8-minute and 23-second version of Dig It, which is pretty cool. Has some other outtakes and things on it. Beatles Not For Sale. I know there's 2 different versions of this. I don't remember what's on the other one, but this has One After 909, Cats Walk, Bad to Me demo, How Do You Do It, Do You Want to Know a Secret, Leave My Kitten Alone, etc. This is, it's not a gatefold, but it's a double album. The Beatles Conquer America. It has their Ed Sullivan. First of all, it has a Derek Rudy interview, and then the first Ed Sullivan show. Side 2 is the second time they appeared on Ed Sullivan from February 16th. Side 3 is the February 23rd show, and that also contains the Fab Four on Film, which was originally supposed to be the B-side of the movie medley single that came out in 81, 82, somewhere around there, but they took it off at the last minute and put I'm Happy Just to Dance With You. And then side 4 is the Ed Sullivan show from September 12th, 1965. I also have the mono and the stereo collection on vinyl, but I'm not going to show that right now. So like I say, not the most impressive collection, but I do enjoy watching everybody else's, and so I thought I would share mine. Hope everybody's doing great, and I appreciate any comments.